Welcome back to the deep dive. Okay, picture this. You're standing over a really critical putt. You know the whole routine, right? Squat down, maybe tilt your head a bit.
Trying to feel the green.
Exactly. Trying to gauge the slope, relying purely on, well, intuition. Bit of hope, maybe.
Yeah, and we all know putting can make or break your score.
Totally. Yet for so many golfers, reading the green feels like the last big area of pure guesswork.
And that guesswork, well, it costs strokes, doesn't it? The thing is, putting isn't some kind of magic.
Right.
It's actually driven by things we can measure. You know, physics, gravity, the angle of the slope, friction, speed.
Deterministic stuff.
Exactly. So today, we're diving deep into a more structured way of thinking about it. A system, really, designed to replace that gut feeling with something more repeatable, precise.
Okay, so our mission today isn't just about aiming higher and hoping.
No, not at all.
We want to get into the why, understand the physics of why the ball breaks the way it does, and maybe how to figure out the exact line needed.
And to make this practical, to really ground the conversation, we're going to stick with one specific example throughout this whole deep dive, a reference scenario.
Good idea. What's the setup?
Okay, so imagine a 5-meter putt. It's about, what, 16 feet?
Yeah, roughly.
And it's on a green with a measured 1.5% slope.
Yeah.
The ball's sitting 45 degrees to the right of the main downhill direction, the fall line.
45 degrees right. Got it.
And the green's quick. Let's say Stimp 11.
Okay, fast.
And here's the crucial part. We're aiming for the optimal speed. The ball needs to arrive at the hole doing exactly 4 rotations per second. 4 ARPs.
4 ARPs. That sounds very specific.
It is. And if you plug all those numbers, 5 meters, 1.5% slope, 45 degrees, Stimp 11, 4 ARPs into the physics model.
What does it tell you?
The precision is pretty amazing, actually. It says for this specific putt, your Aimpoint, the spot you need to target, is 41 centimeters above the hole.
41 centimeters. Wow, that's quite high, like over 16 inches.
It is. And it also tells you the total energy needed, which translates to a total roll distance of 6.04 meters.
6.04 meters for a 5-meter putt.
Exactly. So let's unpack how we get from just seeing a slope to having these really precise targets.
Okay, where do we start? The basics.
Yeah, the fundamentals. We have to begin with what we call the fall line. Think of it like the true downhill direction on the green.
Like if water were flowing?
Precisely. The path gravity wants to take. It's like the north on your putting compass.
And that's the absolute key, isn't it? Because it determines which way the ball will break.
100%. If your putt is straight up or straight down that fall line, there's 0 sideways break. None.
Simple enough.
But the moment you're at any angle off that line, gravity starts pulling sideways.
Okay, so the fall line is the anchor.
It is. And if your ball position is to the right of the fall line,
Gravity pulls it left.
pulls it left.
Yeah.
If you're left of the fall line, gravity pulls it right.
So in our reference putt, we said 45 degrees right of the fall line. So we know immediately it has to break left.
Instantly. No question. That tells you which side is the high side.
Okay, compass set. Now, the engine. The slope itself. This is where we move from, feels a bit steep, to an actual number, right? 1.5%.
Exactly. We need to quantify it. The traditional way relies so much on just feeling it through your feet.
Which can be inconsistent.
Very.
Yeah.
So the structured approach tries to turn that feeling into a standard measurement. One field method is this. Stand right below the hole on the fall line.
Okay.
Take 3 big steps straight downhill. That's roughly 100 inches, give or take.
Right.
Then from there, you look back up at the hole and estimate how much higher it is than where your feet are now.
Ah, I see.
So if you judge the hole to be about 1.5 inches higher than your feet over that 100-inch distance,
That's your 1.5% slope.
that translates directly, yeah.
Yeah.
1.5 inches in 100 inches is 1.5%.
Okay, but hold on. We're trying to get away from guesswork. Estimating 1.5 inches with my eye. Doesn't that just bring back the same subjectivity?
That's a really fair point, and it highlights the difference between just random estimation and, let's say, calibrated estimation.
Calibrate.
Yeah. The goal of that field method isn't necessarily to get perfect scientific precision every single time out on the course. It's more about giving you a repeatable reference point.
Okay.
You can use a tool, like a digital level or a kilometer app on your phone, to get the actual number. Let's say the tool reads 1.5%.
Right.
But maybe your eye, doing the 3-step method, consistently estimates it as, say, 1.3%.
Ah, so I learned my bias.
Exactly. You learn that your perception tends to underread slopes of that steepness by about 0.2%.
Yeah.
You start calibrating your internal slopometer against reality.
I get it now. It's about learning how your feel relates to the actual number. And that 1.5% slope, which sounds small, over 5 meters on a fast Stimp 11 green. That's the reason we need that big 41-centimeter aim point you mentioned.
That's precisely it. It just shows you how powerful even a seemingly small gradient can be when combined with distance and speed.
Wow, okay.
So once you have the fall line, that's your direction, and the slope percentage is your engine power, you can start translating the physics into actual targets you can aim at.
Which brings us to the aim point.
The aim point, yes. And its a crucial partner, the distance point.
Let's tackle the aim point first. It's the visual target, the bullseye that accounts for the break.
You got it. The aim point is essentially the mathematical answer to gravity's sideways pull. It's defined as that specific spot on the fall line uphill from the hole that your ball needs to cross over.
On the fall line, specifically.
Yes, that's key. It's calculated based on how long the ball will be rolling, how steep the slope is, and how fast the green is.
So back to our example. 1.5% slope, 5 meters. If I aim straight at the cup...
Gravity wins immediately. It'll pull the ball downhill, low side, and you'll miss.
Every single time.
Every time. So that 41-centimeter aim point we calculated, that's the specific starting vector, the line, that gives the ball just enough high side momentum so that gravity bends its path perfectly, right back into the center of the cup.
It's a precise instruction for the line, based purely on the side slope.
Correct. Purely lateral break calculation.
But as you said, line is only half the story. Pace is king too, right?
Absolutely critical. Which brings us to the distance point, the energy requirement.
Okay, so what's the fundamental difference? Aim point is line. Distance point is?
Distance point is purely about pace or speed. It specifies the total distance the ball would roll if the hole wasn't there, or if it was covered by, say, a piece of glass.
Ah, the total energy input.
Exactly. It defines the energy you need to hit the ball with so that it successfully travels along the path dictated by the aim point and arrives at the hole at that optimal speed we talked about.
The 4 ERPs.
The 4 ERPs. So in our reference putt, the distance point is calculated to be 74 centimeters beyond the aim point.
74 centimeters past the aim point.
Yeah. Which, when you add it all up, contributes to that total roll distance of 6.04 meters we mentioned earlier.
Right, so you're not trying to hit it 74 centimeters long. You're inputting the energy that results in that total roll distance.
To ensure it holds the 41-centimeter high line and arrives at the hole with the perfect capture speed.
Got it. That makes sense.
And this whole idea of optimal speed, the 4 ERPs, leads us into the science of speed itself. This is probably one of the most maybe counterintuitive bits for many amateur golfers.
Because we always hear that general advice, right? Just roll it 30-centimeter past or a foot by.
Exactly. And that advice is, well, fundamentally incomplete. It's flawed because it completely ignores the green speed, the Stimp rating.
Yeah, 30-centimeter past on a super slow green is totally different from 30 centimeters past on lightning fast greens.
Massively different. What's perfect on a slow Stimp 8 green might send the ball screaming 5 feet past on a Stimp 12. We need a constant, a universal target.
And that constant is the speed of the ball right at the hole.
Measured in rotations per second, or ERPs, yes.
And the magic number is?
The universal sweet spot, based on physics and hole capture dynamics, is 4 ERPs. That's roughly 1 mile per hour, or about 1.6 kilometers per hour.
Okay, 4 ERPs. Why is that the optimal speed?
It's the ideal balance. It's fast enough for the ball to hold its line, resist minor imperfections on the green, but slow enough that gravity and the hole's actual size can effectively capture the ball if it catches any part of the edge.
Ah, the capture window. And this is where it gets really interesting, you said. What happens if you go faster than 4 pips?
This is a huge insight. If you exceed that optimal speed, you are literally physically shrinking your target.
Shrinking the hole? How?
It's pure physics again. The hole is 4.25 inches wide, right?
Standard size.
But if the ball arrives too fast, the effective target area, the part of the hole that can actually grab the ball and make it drop, collapses inward.
Why does it collapse?
Because the faster the ball is moving horizontally, the less time gravity has to pull it downwards into the hole before it passes over the edge. The forward momentum overcomes the downward pull for slightly off-center hits.
Okay, give us the number. How much does it shrink?
All right. If you increase the entry speed just a little to 5 ERPs, the effective capture width of that 4.25-inch hole instantly shrinks to about 2.5 inches.
Wow, almost cut in half.
Pretty much. You suddenly have to be nearly twice as accurate with your line just to get the ball to drop.
And what if you really smash it, like 9 RPs?
Which, believe me, lots of amateurs do,
Yeah.
especially on shorter, flatter putts because they're terrified of leaving it short.
Mm-hmm.
At 9 RPs entry speed, the physics says the ball essentially must hit the dead center of the hole to fall. You've basically nullified the hole's ability to catch any slightly offline putt. the edges become almost useless.
So, too slow, it wobbles and loses its line easily.
Right. Less than maybe 3 RPs, it gets unstable.
Too fast, and you need superhuman accuracy.
Exactly. So our target of 4 arcs, for our reference scenario on the Stimp 11 green, hitting it with the energy to achieve 4 arps means that if the hole wasn't there, the ball would roll about 26 centimeters past where the cup is.
26 centimeters, not the 30 or 40 we often hear.
Right. That 26 centimeters is the calculated outcome of hitting it with the perfect energy for maximum capture size on that specific green speed. It's the result, not the generic instruction.
Okay, that's a really key distinction. Now, we have to talk about the most common mistake people make, don't we?
Oh, yeah. The big one. Underreading the break.
Why do you think most golfers do that? Just not trusting how much slope affects the ball?
Partly that, I think. Also, maybe aiming at the hole feels safer, more direct. But the vast majority of missed putts finish on the low side of the hole.
The amateur side.
The amateur side, exactly.
Yeah.
The golfer aims too straight, maybe subconsciously compensating for speed. The ball starts below the Aimpoint line. Gravity pulls it further low, and it slips past the cup,
And then because of the slope, it just keeps rolling further away downhill.
making the next putt even harder. So a really critical lesson baked into this whole structure system is this. Overreading the break is almost always safer than underreading it.
Miss high, not low.
Always miss high.
Yeah.
Think about it. If you aim too high, let's say you aimed 45 centimeters high instead of the calculated 41 centimeters, the ball is still traveling above the hole initially. Gravity's still working to pull it towards the cup. It still has a fighting chance to curl in at the end, especially if your speed is good.
But if you miss low?
If you start it low, it's gone. Gravity's just pulling it further away from the start. There's no recovery. So rule 1, always favor the high side.
All right. So that framework, finding the fall line, getting the slope, calculating the aim point on the high side, that's consistent. But we haven't really talked about the third dimension yet. Uphill versus downhill. That has to change things, right? Even if the side slope is the same 1.5%.
Oh, it changes the energy equation massively. This is a huge practical point.
How so? Does it change the aim point?
No, and this is important. The 1.5% lateral slope still dictates that same 41 centimeter aim point, whether the putt is going generally uphill or generally downhill. Gravity's sideways pull hasn't changed.
Okay, aim point stays the same.
But the vertical component of the slope, whether you're putting up or down the hill, dramatically affects the pace required, which means the distance point shifts, sometimes wildly.
Right. When you stand over a steep uphill putt, you just feel like you have to give it a good whack just to get it there.
You do. And the measured calculation totally backs up that feeling. If our 5-meter, 1.5% side slope putt is also significantly uphill,
Yeah.
you need way more kinetic energy just to fight that uphill gradient. So the distance point has to move further back. Maybe it's now 100 centimeters or more beyond the endpoint.
Meaning the total roll distance needed might jump from 6.04 meters to maybe 6.5 or even 7 meters.
Easily. You need that extra energy input.
And the opposite for downhill putts, you barely touch them sometimes.
Exactly. Downhill requires minimal energy input. Gravity is helping you. So the distance point shifts much closer to the endpoint. Maybe it's only 50 centimeters beyond, or sometimes even less.
So the total roll length might shrink below the actual putt length, like 5.5 meters needed for a 5-meter putt.
Potentially, yes, on a steep downhill. The total energy needed is much less. So the key distinction here is, aim point deals with the side slope, the line. Distance point deals with the energy needed, heavily influenced by the vertical slope, uphill or downhill.
Line versus energy. Got it. Okay, so we've covered the theory. Fall line, slope percentage, the magic 4 speed in point for line, distance point for energy. How do we actually make this work on the course? Turn it from physics into a reliable habit?
Yeah, that's the bridge, isn't it?
Yeah.
The system is really designed as a feedback loop. It's about training your perception, testing your instincts against the measured reality over and over.
Moving from guessing to analyzing.
Precisely. You use the process to learn.
So let's walk through it using our reference scenario again. Pretend we're on the green, trying to learn this.
Okay. Step 1, you'd estimate the slope. You'd do your 3-step routine or just look at it and make your best guess, say 1.5%.
Then maybe confirm it with a tool like a clinometer app.
Ideally, yes, especially during practice. Step 2, know your green speed. We said Stimp 11. You'd have that noted.
Step 3. Based on that 1.5% and Stimp 11, you estimate where the aim point should be. Where do you think 41 centimeters high on the fall line actually is? You pick a spot.
Then you check the calculation, either from memory, a chart, or an app if you're using one. See how close your estimate was to the actual 41 centimeter.
Okay, step 4. Set the speed target 4 arps. Note the resulting distance point, 74 centimeters beyond aim point, and the calculated roll past the whole distance, 26 centimeters.
Step 5. Hit the putt, trying to match both the aim point line and the required energy for that 6.04 meter total roll.
And then step 6, the crucial one. Analyze the result. Where did it miss? Why?
Exactly. This is the learning loop. If the ball missed low.
You underread the break. Your aim point estimate was too low compared to the needed 41 centimeters.
Right. If the ball was on a good line, maybe you started high enough but died short of the hole.
Pace error. Your energy was too low. Your distance point execution was off. You didn't give it that 6.04 meters of roll.
Or if it held the line beautifully but flew way past the hole.
Too much pace. You hit it faster than the target 4 arps entry speed.
This loop estimate, check, execute, analyzer lets you diagnose why you missed. Was it a line perception issue or a pace execution issue?
And that targeted feedback is what builds real, reliable intuition over time. You stop just vaguely guessing and start actually learning to feel the numbers, as you put it.
That's the goal. It's turning green reading from, just an art form into something that's both art and science.
Governed by physics, you can understand and measure.
So by practicing with this structured data, the slope, the speed, the aim point, the distance point, you're essentially moving from being an uncertain guesser
to becoming a more confident calculator, someone who understands the forces at play.
And our reference putt, that 5-meter, 1.5% slope putt, needing that precise 41-centimeter aim and that perfect 4-ap speed, it really highlights the level of mathematical precision that is possible when you standardize your approach.
It really does. The ultimate aim is consistency, isn't it? And the confidence that comes from knowing you have a process for finding both the right line and the right pace. So we want to leave you, the listener, with maybe a final provocative thought on this. If it's possible to bring this kind of structured, repeatable measurement, this level of mathematical thinking, to something as complex and, well, environmentally variable as reading a golf green.
Yeah.
What other parts of your life could be your fitness training, your diet, maybe even your work strategy? Are you currently leaving mostly to guesswork or just gut feel?
When maybe applying a bit more structure, a bit more measurement could actually provide a much clearer, more definitive path to improvement.
Something to think about.
Definitely. That's the real power, isn't it?
Yeah.
Leveraging data and process instead of just relying on instinct alone.
Indeed. Until next time on The Deep Dive.